the thousands in attendance and millions watching around the world, please welcome your host, the one and only Big Blue Jabroni! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Big Blue Jabroni here. And right before the season starts today, because kickoff tonight at 8:30, very excited. I'm just going to pitch my contest to you guys one last time to win the ring contest, Giant Super Bowl ring replica. Just send me 3 picks every week on my Twitter. Link is in the description. Only rule is you can't pick the same team 2 weeks in a row. So if you pick the Chiefs, Vikings, Lions this week, just for example, next week you just can use any teams you want, just not those 3. Very simple, free to enter. But this video, I'm going to be giving my week 1 picks against the spread. These are just my assumptions. Week 1's always really tough because we haven't seen anybody yet. We're not quite sure exactly who are contenders, who's pretenders. But here we go. Let's start it off with tonight's game. The Texans go into Arrowhead as a 9.5-point underdog. So the Chiefs are going to have to win by double digits for you to cover. I do think the Chiefs are going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a nail-biter. I think at the end it's going to be a real close game. I think it could go either way. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people think. But I do have the Chiefs pulling it out at the end. It's going to be nice to see some fans in the stands. I watch a lot of basketball, watch baseball, and haven't been able to see a sporting event with fans. So I do understand it's only going to be a very small portion, but that'll be something exciting to watch tonight, let alone just football itself. But let's go to the Sunday 1 o'clock window. Green Bay is getting 2.5 points in Minnesota. I love Minnesota's roster. I'm not too crazy about Kirk Cousins, though. I do think Green Bay definitely didn't do Aaron Rodgers any favor in the draft, as they never do. I think Minnesota is just a little too talented, and at home, I would take Minnesota minus the 2.5. Moving next, you got the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions staying in the AFC North. The Bears going to the Lions, Ford's Field. The Lions are the 3-point favorite. Basically, this means Vegas sees them as even teams, and you get 3 points for home field advantage. We'll kind of see what Vegas does with that throughout the year to see if what home field advantage actually ends up meaning this year, with obviously the limited fans or no fans. But I like the Lions. I'm not really crazy about Matt Patricia. I do think he is going to get fired by the end of the year for not taking Tua. I said that around the draft time, and I still believe that. I think Matt Stafford is a really solid quarterback and a good player, but I do believe when Miami starts to play Tua and he looks as good as I think he can, they're going to have a long season again. But I do have them opening up the season against the Bears with them starting Mitch Trubisky, not Nick Foles. I think that's a bit of a mistake. I got the Lions minus 3. Next game, the Indianapolis Colts going to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's getting 7.5. A lot of people, me including, expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to be the worst team in football this year. I don't really like Phillip Rivers and the Colts at all, but I do think they had a fantastic draft with Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman. I think there's a ton of weapons, a really good offensive line, and I expect the Colts to win and win big. So I take the Colts minus the 7.5, eat the points. Next, we have the Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. Vegas going out from west to east to Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. I think the Raiders are my upset, like my surprise team, a team I think is going to actually really compete for a playoff season spot this year. I think they're better than their roster is better than they get credit for. Derek Carr completed 70% of his passes last year, so I don't think that he's John Gruden's ideal quarterback, but I do think that they can work, and I take the Raiders minus 3 right here. Next, this is going to be one of my 3 lock picks of the week when I do my contest picks. I have the Buffalo Bills minus 6.5 at home going against the Jets. I think this is going to be a rout. I think the Jets are going to be one of the worst teams in football this year. I do like Sam Darnold, and but all of their other pieces are now with Jamal Adams gone. C.J. Mosley opted out. The Le'Veon Bell deal is not aging well. I think they're in for a long season. I'm not too crazy about Josh Allen. I do love their defense. I love Sean McDermott, but I just think they're going to destroy the Jets week 1. So take the Bills minus the points. Next, you have the Seattle Seahawks going into Atlanta. Everyone knows I love Russell Wilson. I do think this is a little bit of a tough game, though, going all the way west, all the way to east for the first game. But I do think that they are going to win by a field goal. I do think they're going to open up the season with a win. And so even with the points, I would take the Seahawks. Next, surprisingly, only a 6-point dog are the Washington football team bringing in the Eagles. If you remember last year in Week 1, that Washington took a real big lead on the Eagles and then blew it pretty quickly in the second half. I don't really quite see this happening here. It'll be exciting to see Chase Young. Hopefully, he is not everything we thought he was going to be going into this draft. I do expect him to really be the mainstay piece of that Washington Ron Rivera ran team for a while now, but I do see the Eagles winning and winning by over a touchdown. Next, this is one of the more interesting games. This one's a little tough. You got the Miami Dolphins coming into the Patriots. They have Patrick Graham did have the Miami Miracle last year. They have a little bit of momentum going. The Patriots look like they're good for the taking right now, but still, the Patriots don't ever lose at home. Even without Tom Brady and a lot of their starters that opted out this year, I just can't see Bill Belichick all of a sudden starting to tank or not care about winning games. I think they get off to a good start. They win by a touchdown, and we're talking about how this thing's never going to end again. Next, you got the Cleveland Browns at Baltimore, 8.5-point favorites. I do really like Baltimore big this year. I think they can be a double-digit win team. But I'm going to have a little bit of an upset here. I got the Cleveland Browns winning this game outright. They went into Baltimore last year, and they did beat them. And also, this is a game that they know they need to win, but Baker Mayfield knows he has to win to get the critics off of his back. You got Joe Burrow, number one pick into the league now. You got Big Ben with the Super Bowls, and now Lamar Jackson is the face of the entire NFL almost. So he's going to really need this game. The Browns need this game, and I think they come out and they get the Week 1 upset. Next, the Chargers at the Bengals. Take the Chargers minus 3.5 easy. I think with no OTAs and no off seasons, I think the Bengals are going to look absolutely atrocious. I think Joe Burrow is going to be a huge bust. I've been saying that for a while, so I'm going to pick against Cincinnati almost every week this year. Next, the big game that we're all going to be wanting to watch, 4 o'clock time slot. The Buccaneers go into the Mercedes Dome. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. I think the Saints win huge here. This is another big game that I really like. I like the Saints taking the points with the Saints minus the 3.5. I think there's no way Drew Brees is going to let somebody let Tom Brady of all people walk into his division, go into the building Week 1, and get them a win. I think just because of the camaraderie of being there, knowing the offense, being there for so long, compared to a guy who has to learn an entire new offense, all new playbook, all new players, personnel, just a little too much to ask of Tampa Bay in Week 1. Next pick, Arizona Cardinals go to the 49ers. This one is a little tough because the spread's 7 points. It's pretty tough because Arizona Cardinals did play the Niners down to the wire both times last year. I do think that they did get better. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Simmons could be a big player for them, but a Super Bowl hangover. Still going to take the Niners minus the 7. I think Kyle Shanahan is just such a great offensive mind. He's going to have a lot of tricks up his sleeve, some things that we haven't seen from him yet. And I think the Cardinals are on the up, but not quite yet. And the Niners take it at home minus 7. Next, our 8 o'clock game. The rival Cowboys go into the brand new SoFi Stadium of the Rams. The Rams getting 3 points. So the Cowboys coming into underdog Week 1. So once again, 3 points home field. So they kind of see these as even odds, even teams. Dak Prescott obviously coming in with that giant chip on his shoulder this year, looking to get paid, looking to get all that big money. They get CeeDee Lamb in the offseason. The Rams, they have to figure out their running game. They were a run-first team when they were really rolling. Now that Gurley's gone, they need Cam Akers or Gerald Henderson to really step up. But I unfortunately do have the Cowboys winning here, minus 3, even just outright. That could be a push, man. That game could. I do have the Cowboys winning by 3, so I guess I would have that game as a push. I think the Cowboys win, pull it out late, and then the Cowboys hype train to go 8-8 every year is going to start again. Pittsburgh Steelers going into the New York Giants. This is the big game. You know what? I'll save that one for last. Let's go to the last Monday night game. Tennessee Titans at the Broncos. Broncos getting 1.5 points. I do not like the Titans this year. I'm not a big Broncos fan either. I don't really trust Drew Lock or believe in him as much as most people. I see a lot of hype train going around him. But I just think the Tennessee Titans, you know what, going into Mile High week 1, getting used to the elements, travel will be a little bit weird. I'm still going to take the Titans anyway. I think it's going to have a really hard time trying to stop Derrick Henry. They just paid him. They know what they want to do with him. I see him getting a lot of runs in between the tackles, wearing down that defense, especially now that Von Miller's not going to be there. So, yeah, Tennessee Titans, even the -2.5, I can see them win by a couple points. But our last and most important one, Steelers coming to the Giants. Giants are a 5.5-point underdog. I'm taking the Giants and the points. I think the Giants can win this game. I think that I know I'm crazy, and I feel every single nuisance in my body is telling me Pittsburgh should win this game. But I think Joe Judge and this new coaching staff is really going to focus on being a better ran organization, a better teamed coach. And I think Saquon Barkley is going to get the ball a lot. One thing about Saquon that can drive us all a little bit nuts is sometimes he gets the ball and he can't really, unfortunately, get anywhere because our offensive line isn't opening up any holes. But I do think maybe a little bit more creativity, better offensive line coach from Mark Colombo. I think Saquon Barkley gets 30 touches, gets a couple scores, and the Giants take the lead early and often. And so let me know what you think about your picks, and I'm going to just do my 3 official picks before I put them in. Once again, link is in the description if you want to join the contest. Just send me a message on Twitter, tell me your picks, and I'll put them in for you. I've got the Saints are going to be one of my picks. The Bills are going to be another one. And then, do I want to take the Colts, or do I want to take... I'm going to take the Eagles. So we'll go Eagles, Saints, Eagles, Saints, and who do I want to... Oh, Bills. Eagles, Saints, Bills. Those are going to be my 3 picks of the week. Follow along with the contest all year. We have a bunch of YouTubers doing this as well. Chris the Entertainer, OGR, The Hub, Giants Alliance. The whole Giants community has been really great and supportive. And I hope you guys send me your picks and let me know what you think. And I'll see you on the next one. See you after football tonight. Thanks, guys. Jabroni out.